name is Fatuma Kuso. My daughter, Zahra Adam Boule, the eldest of my 5 children, went missing Friday, May 26th. 12 days later, her husband of 18 years had been arrested and charged with the first degree of her murder. But I'm not here today to speak to you about the when, the where, the how, the who, the what, and the why of the criminal case. That I am going to leave it to the criminal justice system for now. But what I'm here to speak to you about is coming up with the safest strategies in removing yourself from an abusive relationship that you think you cannot take it anymore. But before I get into my discussion, I wanted to let you know I am not a relationship expert and I am not a psychologist, nor have I done a research in this topic. All I'm sharing with you is my personal experience in walking this journey with my daughter for the last 18 years. So, whether a woman is ready to leave the relationship for the last time, or whether a woman is considering going back and giving the relationship another chance, the need for safe exit strategies applies to both. So if a woman is thinking about, and I discussed this in my last 2 videos, and if you haven't watched them, you can watch them in this playlist. So if a woman is considering to go back for whatever her reason is, then it's very important to have safe exit strategies of how to get out if and when the conflict gets to a level that you cannot tolerate, that you are done with. Okay? And if you already went back 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, 10 times, it doesn't matter, and now you think it's your final exit, then what is the safe strategy for you? And everybody is different, and everybody's level of violence is different. But remember, this person who has this deep-seated desire to control is capable more than you could ever imagine. Just keep that in mind. Don't think, oh, this person is not going to do this. This person is not capable of doing this. If this person has this deep-seated desire to keep you under control as another adult, not have an equal relationship with you, then you know this person is capable more than you can imagine. Okay, so what you need to do is have a strategy. And like I said, everybody's strategy is different. Is your strategy calling the police and having them take you out with your children? Do you think that would work? Or that would inflame the situation? You will not be safe by the time the police gets there. Is your safe strategy going to work next day, just keeping quiet and going dark and going MIA on the person? If there is a children, taking the children to school, going to work, at the end of the day, grabbing your children and going somewhere where this person cannot find you until you are in a safe place. Does this strategy include having friends and family members that could provide you shelter for you and or for you and your children? Is this having somebody who could call around for you to get access to a shelter for battered women? Do you have support in your workplace or in your school institution, if you're in university or college or in public school, or if you have a full-time job, whatever the situation is there a support resources you can access through your job, through whatever institution you are connected to? If that's a religious institution, social institution, work institution, educational institution, is there a support that you can access? Can you tell your employer, your manager, your supervisor, this is my situation, I won't be able to make to work? If you have the feeling that your partner, your spouse, your husband will go to a level where they would come to your workplace and cause you problems? Do you want to keep your children, if there are children involved, not to go to school because you think your spouse might show up at their school? What is your safe exit strategy so you can remove yourself and your children, if there are children involved, out of that situation? And this strategy applies whether you are considering of going back. If you're considering going back, you could ask yourself, if and when the situation gets too much for me to manage, what is my exit strategy? How far am I willing to stay before I exit? Okay. And if you have gone back 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 10 times, like my daughter had, then the question is, what is your safe exit if and when the situation gets too much for you to handle? Okay, does that include having a sign with a friend where they could call when this happens and they would say, hey, can I talk to so and so, or show up at your house to diffuse the situation? Does that mean you're calling the police? Does that mean you're going to keep quiet and pretend you're okay with this until you are safely away from this person? Do you need to go dark on them and not allow them any access to you? What is your strategy? And if you have a woman in your life, a family member, a friend, a colleague, a neighbor, or you are their support systems, instead of telling them, don't go back, why are you going where you have been there for 10 times, help them get strategies. If and when this situation gets more than you can handle, what are your strategy and what role can you play as a family member, a friend, a co-worker, a supervisor, a classmate? What role can you play? Are you able to play? Is the woman willing or wanting you to play? Okay, so those strategies are very important and they will help you get off this train called domestic violence before it gets into its final destination called the tragedy, like my daughter had. Thank you.